Hi Year 3, happy Monday. So we have finished our measurement unit last week, so we are now going to be moving on to our next unit, which is volume. So we're going to learn how to measure volume in milliliters today. Okay, so the volume of the liquid in the jug is 1 litre. Before we find out where to go next, I'm just going to tell you what volume means. So the volume is the amount of water in the container. So it's the amount that we have in each container here. Okay, so we're measuring the liquid basically. So we're measuring the volume in milliliters. So the volume of liquid in this jug here is 1 litre. The remaining 3 containers contain less than 1 litre of liquid. How can we find out how much liquid there is in the remaining 3 containers? So before we move on, we need to work out, I need to tell you how much 1 litre is. Okay, it's linked with 1 kilometre. It's linked with 1 kilogram. So if we know that 1 kilogram and 1 kilometre is 1,000, how much do we think 1 litre would be then? Okay, I think you might know 1 litre is 1,000 millilitres. Okay, so you need 1,000 millilitres to make 1 litre. So we need to find out how much liquid are in these 3 containers. So we can measure volume with measuring beakers. So if we were in science at school, or maths at school, we would have lots of these beakers out on the table. But because you're at home, you'll have jugs. I can't imagine you have many beakers, but with measuring lines on the side, you'll probably have measuring jugs at home to measure milk, to measure gravy, to measure water. If you have beakers, that's brilliant, but hopefully you might have some of these at home. Some jugs at home. So the beakers and jugs are marked in milliliters. The amount of water in a container is called the volume of water, like we just said earlier. So the amount of water is the volume of water. Okay, remember that's going to be one of your quiz questions this week, and a question in your work after this. So we need to find out how much water is going to be in this container, okay? So this beaker that we have here measures up to, let's have a look, it goes all the way to 100 millilitres. Each marking, a bit like our scales, each marking is worth 10 millilitres. So let's count: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So they're all worth 10. And this beaker is full to 100 millilitres. So the volume of liquid in this beaker, can you see it's not all the way to the top. So they've poured the water in here. It's not all the way to the top. It's about 90 millilitres. We can check that measuring all the way up to the line. It's about 90. Hasn't reached the top. Okay, so you can do this activity at home only if you have the resources. You can work with someone in your family, or you can do it by yourself. You can use a measuring jug instead of a beaker. So even though the instructions say beaker, you can use a measuring jug if you want to. This activity is not compulsory. You don't have to do it. It's only if you want a bit of fun. So you can fill the small beaker or jug with any amount of water. You can measure the volume of water in your beaker or your family's beaker, whoever has it. And then you can arrange your beaker. You might do it with your mum, might do it with your dad, might do it with your sister or your brother. Okay, you might arrange your beaker from in order. You can do it from smallest to largest or largest to smallest. Okay, according to the volume. Okay, so you can do that if you like. A bit of a fun activity with some water. So the guided practice, we're going to be measuring the volume of the liquid in these beakers. Okay, so the beakers contained coloured water. What is the volume of water in each beaker? So let's have a look. See what it's measuring up in? Okay, so it's measuring up in tens again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So you're going to write in sentences, the volume of coloured water in the beaker is about 50 millilitres. Okay. So you can write that sentence out. The volume of coloured water in the beaker is about 50 millilitres. Okay, so you can pause the video if you haven't finished writing that, and then you can play it when it's time to move on. So the next one then, the volume of coloured water in the beaker is about, so again it's counting in tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 millilitres. So you're going to write your sentence. The volume of coloured water in the beaker is about 70 millilitres. Okay, so you can pause the video so you can write your number sentence. It's really important that you do write your number sentences because it's just good to get into practice of writing as many sentences as you can because it will really help with your spelling as well. Okay, so pause the video and we go on to the next one. So your activities are the button below this video. You can self-mark. Oh, look, spelled answers wrong. You can self-mark your answers because the answers are below. And good luck. Enjoy.